parking at the moment. I didn't feel I was an outsider in terms of being part of the skateboard crew, because I was just treated as another skateboarder by all my mates. But as far as everyone else in society, I definitely felt ostracised. But because your parents didn't understand it, your colleagues or your schoolmates just thought you were immature. It was definitely not on the radar of being cool at all. It was a nuisance and it was to be banned. And that's what they did. They put signs up everywhere, no skateboarding here. We don't want, and the newspaper headlines were like, get this thing banned, this awful skateboarding. And it wasn't like, oh, this will promote creativity and give the kids something positive and physical to do. This was a nuisance and this was to be got rid of. I think there were girls and women around skating, but it certainly wasn't promoted as like a nice thing for girls to do. You really, my own motive was just I loved the sport and I quite liked the vibe and the feeling and camaraderie of being around skaters. It was something I could really feel I was belonging to. I tried lots of other sports, but something about skateboarding definitely grabbed me. I think it was the fact it was probably so hard, it was a physical thing. You needed to just keep working at things to finally get some sort of ability. And that was partly, I guess, the attraction was the difficulty. And the fact when you can do it, it just looks amazing. It looks so cool, doesn't it? Yeah. I'll put the rest of the quick draws in that I can. So there's one up there. Cool. There's lots of girl climbers now, but initially when I got into climbing there weren't that many women climbers. It's physically quite hard. It's not like something that the media really portrays as being a nice thing to do. So you've got to be doing it for yourself rather than just tagging along. You kind of really got to be into it because you like skateboarding, not because you like hanging around the scene. And I guess they weren't always particularly nice places where they built ramps. You know, they were kind of in the back of some derelict neighbourhood, or you know, they weren't in sports centres like they are now with toilets and park benches. They're trying to shuffle you away from everyone else because you were the riffraff they didn't want to see. You know? There weren't any girls' divisions at all, and I wouldn't ever campaign for there to be a girls' division because I thought, well, I'm just a skater, I'll join in with whatever's going on. And part of it was just a bunch of you travelling to some ramp for a weekend away, and there happened to be a competition there at the same time. And it wasn't like, oh yeah, I've got to beat so-and-so. It was just, you know, a bit of fun. Although I think everyone would appreciate maybe technical difficulty or a certain grace and style and just generally really going for it, those sort of things, the same qualities everyone would admire will probably get the highest score in a competition. But I think it's like all of these lifestyle orientated sports is kind of sanitising it a bit, isn't it, from the original feel of the whole ethos and why you got into it. But if there's a little bit more funding to get facilities and it presents it as maybe something worthwhile that people want to invest in, then maybe it's good, but it's at a cost, isn't it? That's the thing, and it's getting the balance right. And the same thing's happening with climbing as well. So there's a big debate of, do we really want it to be so popular that everyone wants to come out to beautiful places like this when we could be having a nice day on our own without the hordes and leaving rubbish and not respecting it, because they won't have grown up with this ethos of looking outside, looking after your countryside. They would have trained at an indoor wall and then not grown up with the same values that you might have because of the introduction you've had to the sport. So I wasn't too sure when I started throwing above the roof whether it's actually going to work. And then you get to a point you think, yeah, it's in the bag. Don't want to drop it from here. Thank you. Grand day out.